Hi everybody, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and my name is Barb Reed, the Wexford Stamper, and we are going to get together today and make a cool fun fold card. It's called a Teepee card. Let me show you what it looks like. Pretty cool. It sits on the recipient's desk like a little teepee, and it's something that they can have on their desk. And what's very cool about it is I made it with a magnetic closure so that they can fold it right up and they can put it back in the envelope. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I've been looking on the internet, investigating the Teepee cards, and I think I've finally put together my favorite design. Let's get started. All right. So, hope everyone is doing well and jumping on. It's just after 3 o'clock. And let me go ahead and get my catalog and show you some of the materials that we will be using today. Here we go. Don't forget, today is the last day of celebration. So if you have one or two more last things you want to buy today, it's your last chance to be able to get something out of the celebration catalog for free. Hi, Deb. Thanks for joining. So celebration ends at midnight tonight. It's been quite a run, and there's been fabulous freebies. But don't worry, the mini catalog that launched in January is still available. So everything in this catalog is available until June. All right, so there's still lots and lots of fun things to look at. All right, so let me go ahead and show you one of the stamp sets I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using many of the sentiments from the Under My Umbrella bundle. I also have the punch that goes with that, and this has been a wonderful, wonderful set that I've really loved making projects with. Yesterday, I showed my little box here, my Milano cookie box that I made. This one uses this umbrella bundle for my Milano cookies. And those have all been shipped off to the hospital for the nurses. So I was real excited to get to do that. So, all right, well, let's get started. It is 3 o'clock. Here is the Teepee card, okay? And it's not really as hard as it looks. The only challenge with it is being careful that when you embellish all these sides, that you don't let them overlap over where the fold is, or they will get all crunched up when they're in the envelope. Hi, Donna, it's Teepee card day. So that's the only part you really want to be careful, and we'll talk about that as we get closer to that. But we're going to go ahead and construct it, and then we're going to put all the background paper on before we do the embellishing. So let's go ahead and get started. To make a Teepee card, all you need, believe it or not, are 3 pieces of cardstock. And these all measure 4 inches by 4 inches. Okay, so this is your card right here. I know it's hard to believe. Hi, Jody. Happy Tuesday to you too. But this is the base of our card. It's going to be the 3 4x4 pieces here. Oops, I have another one back there. All right. Now, before we start constructing it, we've got to take these 3 squares, and we're going to go and get our trimmer. You need your Stampin' trimmer for this. And you're going to have to score this square on the diagonal. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to line up on the track here of your trimmer right in the little channel. Close it over, and then remember you want to use the gray, light gray, and you're going to just take that right over, and then you can see right there it's scored from point to point. So you want to do that with all 3 pieces. Okay, line up your points. Back up with the score. Very, very simple. You can also, if you want to, just fold it in half yourself, but this makes a nice clean fold if you happen to have a trimmer. Okay, and this is the last one. So all three of those we need to do the diagonal score with. All right, now I'm going to bring in my bone folder and I'm just going to crease these. Hi, Ann. Hey, have you ever made a TP card, Ann? You're always up for a challenge. This is a fun one. All right, so now I'm going ahead and I am just creasing all my score lines. All right, so now I have 3 squares with diagonals. Now let me get my finished product here, and I'm going to open it up so you can see it in the back. See how it comes together. I'm going to take 2 of the squares and just put them together to make a point. You see how my score lines are making a point right there? I'm putting them right up against each other, and the score lines are making a point. Okay, so that's step 1. And then your next step is to take the remaining square and you're going to adhere it so that the score line goes right along the edge where they are up against each other, like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to put these right next to each other. You're going to take your glue and you're going to just put it not in the whole section because it's not going to go all the way down, maybe 2/3 of the way down. Okay. Then you're going to bring this back up. Make sure they're right next to each other. And then you're going to line these up against the side here. This is another good reason to have your Tombow. And against the side here. Slide that a little bit, so that all the points meet up at the top. Okay, it's right along the score line here, right along the score line here, and then meets up there at the top. Let me turn it over, you can see. Okay, and you want to make sure your paper is together on all sides. There we go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your TP card. You've just finished constructing it. And how it works is you're just going to pick it up and fold in, and then the final 2 flaps on the back here are going to fold over each other. Okay, so there you're done. All right, I'm glad you liked my video. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so that is the bottom construction of the TP card. It's the 3 squares together. Now, I'm going to lay my finished product over here so you can see how everything comes together. Now, in order to make your triangles here for each of the sections, what I did is, since these squares are 4 inches by 4 inches, hi Renee, I cut a piece of designer series paper at 3 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches, and then I cut it in half. Okay? So that's going to be just the size you need. Now, don't worry about all these directions, and all these dimensions will be on my blog. So don't worry. And as usual, I am using some of my favorite paper from the spring collection. And I'm going to cover all 3. Remember, it's a TP that only really has 3 sides because the 4th side overlaps. And that side that's going to be underneath is where you're going to put your little message. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put those on there. Oops, sorry. And then I'm going to put 1 over here. These are the 3 sides you will see when the TP is standing up. And remember, I just took a 3 by 3 1/4 by 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and just cut it in half. And it fit perfectly right on that triangle. All right, now over here, I did the same thing with Whisper White, but I cut off the bottom portion of it right here because I don't want that to show. Let me show you over here. See, when I'm going to close the TP, I want the white to be covered. Okay, so I cut that off a little bit on the bottom there so you wouldn't be able to see it. Okay, so let's open that back up, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this to there. All right. Okay, now, before we get started, we need to, before we get started on the closure, we need to figure out where on our card we're going to put the magnets. I chose a magnet enclosure. I've seen some that they've used, oh, I can't think of the name of it right now. Other things to close it. I've seen some that have just glued it closed and then kind of squished it into the envelope. So I kind of like the idea of putting on a magnet. So I bought the these are these tiny little craft magnets, and I will put a link in my blog post to tell you where you can get these, but I get them on Amazon, and they're very, very tiny, but very, very powerful. So I will make sure that I put a link on my blog so you can get these if you'd like to try them. But I love to use them for boxes and everything. They're just much cleaner than trying to use Velcro. There's the word. I'm having trouble finding words today. Velcro, because Velcro can kind of tear off and doesn't always look real nice on the card or the project. So I'm going to use these. Now, where I put the magnet is behind, oops, can't see over there, is behind this little flower. Okay, so let's go over here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my glue dots. Here they are. And I'm going to take a glue dot and I'm going to put it right here on the corner of that panel. And then I'm going to just put that right on top. Okay, now we're going to cover that up with a flower so they're never going to see it. Okay, now the other one, as you close it, okay, it's going to go right about here. Okay, so the way I do it, I close it, then I go under in the inside of the box. Let me get my, okay, let's try that again. Okay, there's my magnet. I'm going to close it so that the part that's going to have your message on is inside. Okay, so now I've got to hold it closed, and I'm going to take and put my magnet right on the spot. Okay, now it's holding it together. So now what I have to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a glue dot right in that spot, and then I'm going to return the magnet to the spot. So now it's going to be on the inside so nobody can see it. I hope you guys can see that. That is a little tough in there. Okay, so now when I open, okay, if you notice here, I put a little piece of Designer Series paper over the magnet. You can do that if you like. All right, so now when I close it, it snaps closed. Okay, so you're going to put your magnet on the right hand corner, and then when you close it, it goes on the bottom corner on the inside. So it's a little tricky, but once you get the magnets and you play around with it, it's not that bad at all. I have not had any issues with mailing the cards with magnets. So but yeah, I've never had any trouble doing that, Renee. So but Renee, you always see that. I actually fell again running. Yes, I fell again. I have a nice skinned up knee. This time I don't have anyone to blame but myself. I just tripped right over the sidewalk. So yes. So now we have all our panels covered and ready to go. So now we're going to do some decorating on these 3 panels. Okay, Jody, I'm not sure why it's freezing. There's lots of people online. I've been having trouble with video for a few days now. So maybe come in, go out and come back in, or Maybe if you watch it on the recording, it might be a little better. All right, well, let's start with this square right here. Square. Let's start with this triangle. Okay, now if you notice in that triangle, we're going to have one of these hearts. Now the hearts are from the Pleased as Punch paper, which I am very sad to say, since I put this project together, is now not available. So I'm a little sad about that. But what I did is I took the purple heart, cut it out with my scallop punch, which is one that comes with the Valentine's bundle. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Life Showers Bring Love flowers. That's right here. And I'm going to stamp that right on my heart. There we go. I love the messages in this set. I just think it's a really, really great time to be sending these kinds of messages out to people because it is a rough time. Lots of anxiety. So it's a great time to get these kind of gifts to people. I'm reaching over for my, there we go. I was reaching for my dimensionals. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and put this on with our dimensionals. Now I'm using the edges of my dimensionals because I don't ever let any of these go to waste. And as I was saying before, you want to make sure when you're decorating each of the panels that you're, Renee, are you going to take care of me? I do need a nurse. My husband just shook his head when I came home. But you want to make sure that you keep all your embellishments on the panel, or they might get a little messy when you try to fold it up and put it in the envelope. Okay, so you also want to assemble it because you're not going to want to put this on the panel like this, even though that would seem like you would want to do it. You want to put it on kind of an angle so that when your recipient folds together your TP, that your messages are leaning the right way. So that's what I did with that, okay? So when I stand them up, then that message is going to be right in the right spot, okay? So let's fold him down again. And now I need to get some of these cute little flowers. And these I cut out of the Small Blooms paper using the Small Blooms punch, again from the Pleased as Punch paper. And what I did is I took the flower and I put my finger in the middle, and then I tried to just, there we go, bend it up a little bit, give it a little more dimension. Then I got out my favorites of all glue dots, stuck it right on there, then took my pick tool, and remember we're going to use this one to cover up our magnet. And we'll use the next one. We put these on this side, remembering that you don't want to have any of your pieces overlapping because they might get crunched in the envelope. So it's just important to keep all your embellishments on the panel that you're decorating. And then I'm going to put that one here. Okay, and then let's finish off with some pearls on each of these. And that's one of our panels. So it's really a matter of just, it's almost like a card that has 3 fronts on it. So you have to really think about what you want to put on each of them. It's a little more decorating, but boy, it has the wow effect. All right, let's move on to the next one here. This one's going to have the little umbrella. Okay, let's see here. I need, okay, some more pieces here. I've already cut these out so you won't have to watch. And this one I use the umbrella punch. That one's this one. Goes with the Under My Umbrella suite. Okay. And here's the little umbrella that I cut right out of the paper. And then I took some black, basic black, and cut the little handle out with that. And then I have my stitched frame, my stitched die circle, and the accompanying scallop. But before we adhere that, we need to do a little bit of stamping. And this time I'm going to stamp using the Gorgeous Grape. Let's move this up a little bit. Okay, and this message says, rain or shine, you're always on my mind. And that's this one here. And you're going to try to shoot right for the center of that. There we go. Perfect. All right, then I'm going to take my Tombow. And I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the back of my stitched circle and adhere it straight down to my scallop. All right, now we're going to do the same thing again. Remember, we're going to fold it up, stand it up, so we know exactly where we want to put it. Okay, I'm going to put dimensionals on the back. And then with it kind of assembled, you can go ahead and put on your sentiment. Okay, let's move that up there. All right, here we go. So here it is, straight how it's going to be. We're looking at it on the desktop or wherever it's going to sit. So I'm going to put it right like that so that it's facing the correct way. You don't want it to be kind of cockeyed. So remember, you're not going to be trying to line it up according to this line. It's more of a straight across this way because that's going to be kind of a diagonal as it sits. All right, now let's put together our little umbrella. Love this set, just love it. And what's great about it is that even though the paper's gone, the set has cute little umbrellas that you can stamp. So, and you can also stamp the umbrella on other designer series paper. And that one is saying, I have no more in me. And let's try this one. There we go. So I'm just going to put a little bit along the side edge there and going to put my little, oops, I don't want it that high. Oops, there we go. Because remember, we don't want it to hang over the side. It can hang over the bottom because that's going to close, but we don't want it to hang over the side. Okay, so there is my umbrella. Now we're going to bring in some of the flowers. I need to get my, here is the small bloom punch. This is a punch that was available during Celebration. And I'm going to take my paper here. And cut out one more flower. Okay, so we're going to do it the same way as we did before. I'm going to kind of work a little bit, pulling up the flower petals like that. Then we're going to go to the glue dots again. The glue dots are really the best to work to put the little embellishments on this because they give you a chance to kind of line them up. Okay, and now these are going to go one here. I'm going to open them up. That makes it tough to do there. Okay, let's do it this way. Much better. One there. Did that the wrong way. There we go. One there. And this is a great design because you can really do it with any type of stamp set. As long as you keep the regular basic design, this could be used for many different kinds. I'm going to try to come up with a Father's Day card using this. I think that would be fun. And we're going to bring in our pearls again. Looks like I'm in need of pearls here shortly. There's one more. And one more. Okay. Oops. And then we have a little white baker's twine bow. And we're going to go ahead with the glue dots for this one as well. And that goes right at the base of the handle for the umbrella. So there is side number 2. Deb, did you get this set? Oh, great. You're going to love it. It's just so much fun. All right, last one. Let's take a look here. What do we have on the last panel here? Let's do our stamping first there. No matter the weather, we're friends forever. Okay, that's going to go on this little 3/4 inch strip. I'm going to bring in my gorgeous grape one more time. I just loved all the sentiments in this, so I figured I'm going to use them all. Then I won't have to pick. So this one says, no matter the weather, we're friends forever. Then I'm going to cut it pretty close because we don't have that much space for the banner. Remember, we need to keep it within those 2 folds. All right, so let's go back over here. And for this one, we're going to bring in something else that I've already punched using the Tulip Builder punch. I use the Tulip Builder punch to punch out a beautiful gold tulip and 2 leaves, and then 1 more little bow for the icing on the cake. All right, so let's pull in our dimensionals. Cut these a little bit. Put a dimensional on the back of here. Now let's assemble the card again. Okay, that'll help us decide where we need to put. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. So I want to put it as high, I went as high as I could go and keeping it between the 2 folds. So that's where I'm going to put that, and I'm going to align it up so it's perpendicular to this line and not this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and open it back up. And now I'm just going to go ahead and take some more dimensionals, and I'm going to add the leaves. I think the leaves are almost able to go right on as I look at this. I think what I did last time is I just took my glue and went along the side of, yeah, like that. I tried to put them on dimensionals, but then they got to be a little too wide, so I was not able to do that. So let's go ahead and put this one here. So you want to make sure you keep it in, okay, so that it doesn't cross over that line. And then you want to do the same thing over on this side. Keeping it inside. There we go. You want to keep it inside. All right. The last thing we're going to put here is our no matter the weather, we're friends forever. I'm going to go ahead and put it together again just so I get my fold correct. I mean my angle correct on my sentiment. And then our final piece will go right along here. I'm holding it like this. Let me hold it up there to the, okay. Now it's okay if it overlaps a little down here. Okay, that will not get messed up with the mailing. It's the ones that come across on the folds that are going to get a little scuffed up when you have to put it in the envelope. Because the way I'm going to mail this is I'm going to fold it like this and stick it in. Okay, so as long as it's not going over any of these, you shouldn't have any trouble. Okay, but with this down here like that, that's not going to be a bother. And then your final flap here is where you write your sentiment or whatever notes you want to write to the recipient. So there it is. There is my official Teepee card. Not too hard. What do you think, ladies? Okay, if you have any questions about anything that you saw in this video tutorial today, please check out my website at thewexfordstamper.blogspot.com, or you can always just message me and ask me a question. It's great to see you. And I did this afternoon one today because today is my daughter's birthday and we're going to have a nice get together all by ourselves here. But I wanted to give you a shot of the cake. This is a super cool cake. My daughter really loves video games, and this is the cake we got her. Take a look at that. It looks like a Wii. I mean, not a Wii, a Switch, a Nintendo Switch. And then the little cookies are actually video game boxes. Isn't that amazing? She just did such a wonderful job on the cake, and Hannah's already seen it and she loves it. So we will be celebrating Hannah's birthday this evening, and we are going to have a really nice get together, just the four of us. But I know Dory is doing a Facebook Live this evening, so watch out for her, and I'm sure she will have a nice, interesting project for tonight. Uh-oh, and I just noticed something I didn't do. I forgot to put on my last bow. Okay, so let me stick that on really quickly, and I'll let you guys go. I hope you are finding things to do and trying to not be anxious and stay calm, which is very hard. But crafting has really helped me, and making things for other people has really helped too. So there we go. There is the final Teepee card. If you have any questions, let me know. Take care. Bye-bye.